So now let's talk about the day about my mom, Derek. Remember now, as I was sitting across the couch from my son, texting, I didn't want to leave with you. For some odd reason, I thought that night was an issue. So then my son went to Onamia, and you called me again. And as Derek called me, Linnell, it was in the middle of texting. And as Derek said, come out, with that car and stuff, Linnell, I thought that again, it was odd because he said he was getting an Uber. So I decided Derek was a big liar. And at that point, I decided that since he was talking to my mom, and he said my mother hated me. Now, be clear. My mother said she didn't like me, but she loved me. My mother never said she hated me. Those are words that Michael Cooper used. Those are words that people like, Renee or Terry or Krisha might use. But my mother never said. Now, are you one that was in the building? Would you lie and say we had sex and we didn't? I'm asking. Did you live in my mama building with Bacon? Because I thought Bacon was lying. They kept trying to hook me up with Bacon. And I couldn't go to Bacon's house because Bacon was a biker from Chicago. Just like that Willie who fixed that car. Willie fixed my car, they put parts on it. And I told Willie he would never fix another motherfucking car, Cooter. Why did I tell Willie that? For the same reason I said, Cooter, you couldn't fix a car, right? Because you fixed my brakes on the car, and you didn't put that brake key on there right. So the brake on the right side almost came off. And that was when I decided my Ford Focus, through Michael Cooper Sr., by the way. Because that's when I got that Ford Bobby Baker, right, from the hit with Bonneville my dad bought. So as my dad bought me that Bonneville and said I needed to leave Michael alone, the family was arguing about did that Bonneville cost $50 or did it cost $500. Bobby told me the Bonneville cost $500. Roland, drunk one day, said that shit cost $50. And he had it in the back of the yard sitting at Grandma's house on 40th and DuPont before he actually gave it to you, Sharon. You need to know that. He said that Bobby was sitting on that car for so long that it's a shock that he gave it to you. Now, I didn't know who to believe, my Uncle Roland, who said the car was $50, or my dad, who said it was $500, that Bonneville, as my grandma lived on DuPont. And like I said, I was just grateful to get the car, Krisha, right? As my dad said, I had to leave Michael Cooper Sr. alone. And as I drove that Bonneville to Express Scripts and was suing, right, Keith? Let's be clear, as I'm driving that Bonneville to Express Scripts and I'm suing Keith, I was hit, Krisha, right? Did they set that up as you was at CenturyLink? Is that how you and Linnell got that house? Huh? Is that how you got that yellow house, Krisha? You was working at CenturyLink, right? And as you was working at CenturyLink for the housing mortgage, and I was, look at Adia, your mom. I don't want to ask her for a ride. I can't stand that bitch. I'd rather wait for a fucking bus than get on a bus with her. That's how much I hate Jody Baker, right? Why? Because she might be one to lie too. So as I have my anxiety, Adia, did Erin be a better mom than Bridget? Did Bridget know a lot about me? Tracy from PYC? What she know about me, Jody? Huh? What she know about me? I want to know. I'm always looking for info about me. Keith, we're going to wait 6 minutes, Keith. Right? We're going to wait 6 minutes for the motherfucking bus. I said, that's that spot over there as COVID hit. And they were protecting the eatery as I drove around in that Nissan, Keith. You remember that Nissan, Keith? I remember that Nissan. As I drove around in that Nissan and I pulled up to the corner and they were sitting outside in their lawn chairs with their AK-47s protecting that building right there. It always gives me worries, anxiety. Worries meaning that I think about them having a meeting in their architect who built Golden Valley and Penn Common Bonds. I always worry that that meeting that Cuba and them was soliciting me to, as I listened to the music in my headphones, was actually, that private K-fan motherfucking line Keith got where I felt raped through it. So I felt like I was goaded to that motherfucker. So I worried as I was goaded to that motherfucker that, again, that's where Bobby was telling me to sit at the table with him. And I didn't want to. I actually applied for an apartment in the motherfucker based on my own credentials, and I didn't get that, bitch. So as I didn't get that apartment in that common bond in that, Golden Valley and motherfucking Penn Complex, and then we had the COVID outside Sammy's Eatery, I worried that that was a Bobby Joe plot, where that's where my money was. And Bobby's now taking all my money and started building all these build-a-box apartments, Dawn. And as he was building these motherfucking build-a-box apartments, Bobby was working with my ex, Michael Cooper Sr., like my dad, where my dad said that I had to be with him now. The whole opposite, Bobby. And I said it was because Bobby Joseph Kaminsky got a hold of my daddy's army policy, where Linda Baker and Jackie Baker, Roland Baker, all knew about my dad's army policy. And he left it to me solely. That's what I dreamed. That he said that he helped Breon all her life, that he was finally just going to help me. And they said, no, you're like your mama. You're like your mama, and we ain't giving you shit, Sharon. Why? Because you're a dope addict. You won't change your name. We redid your dad's will. And everything your daddy said, Sharon, we changed. So your daddy said you had to change your name to Baker, or else you wouldn't get no money. Your daddy said you had to marry Michael Cooper Sr., or you wouldn't get no money. I said that Bobby Joe Champion now getting that motherfucking policy where Linda Baker, did a deal with the army. Barack, Kamala donated money there, and that money is how they've been goading me with the Facebook and the motherfucking payments and shit, son. So, son, if your phone gets cut off and you don't get to talk to me no more, I said that's the fulfillment of the death of my children. They told me if I didn't make a deal that I wasn't going to see my kids no more. Renee said that you guys had to move to Iowa to be protected because that was Bobby's home state, I thought. For some odd reason, I thought Bobby and his country-ass family was from fucking Iowa. And that's where Teddy and all them motherfuckers moved. Oh, no, Greta, my bad. Every now and then I get tongue-tied and twitched up. So, son, just in case your phone gets turned off and I can't communicate with you anymore, I'm just saying that's the fulfillment of that, contract. And I said that under the Black Lives Matter, where I said that if, Keith and Donald Trump got together and I endorsed them, I'm going to vote Donald Trump. If Donald Trump can help make a deal, get my money from Keith and Kim Ellison out of the education department, where I sued his fucking wife, who was, the political leader of the District Number 1, who was, discriminating with pride, Jackie. I said that if I could get my money, Donald Trump, I'd vote for you. I said I'd endorse Keith Ellison just like his motherfucking wife did, because I thought he was a puppet. I thought she paid him to fuck me, right? On the phone, because I told my ex I had a crush on Keith Ellison. So they thought that if I just got that out of my system, I'd go back to Michael, right? I thought me and Michael would fight and argue. I thought he would cheat on me so much, he would call me a drug user. He would hurt me this time and kill me. See, there's been a couple times where me and your dad had some serious fights. And those serious fights made me worry. And as I worried about them serious ass fights, I thought that motherfucker might kill me. So I thought I better not go back, son. Not a third time. Not a third time. See, the third time's the charm. I thought about that Tim coming down on my face. I thought about, $8 and a motherfucking iPod, right? On the way out the door. I thought that I better not go back. Not if I valued me. See, because Sharon wanted to go out, like Christian them, have a man stand up by your side. See, Michael didn't love me enough to stand up by my side. Although I loved him, he just didn't love me. That's why he changed me. Nothing I did in my mind was good enough. I couldn't be me, couldn't dress like me, couldn't do my hair like me. I had to fit his fucking stereotype of me, and I didn't like it. And since I didn't want to be that person anymore, I refused to go back to my ex. My kids were grown. I felt that I could get a degree, me and Keenan could just, you know, get a 3-bedroom house. Shayla and Michael could come back if they wanted to. You know, they were almost on their way out the door at this point. But again, those were dreams, weren't they? Fallacies. My dreams are gone. I don't have dreams anymore. I have nightmares now. I relive the incident with Tim Croker and Chris. I relive the choo-choo incident. You know, I relive my uncle telling me who would win in a fight between you and Pumpkin. Like, that was so hurtful. Who would ask somebody that? But that's that drunk motherfucker that told me my daddy paid $50 from the car. Does he remember that?